Hi, thank you so much for coming back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're well. So we are, can't believe what we are, approaching mid-November, and we're starting to think about the festive season, and there are a few things that, or a few thoughts that I guess, pass through people's minds. And that is, is it even worth starting a weight loss journey now in November? But also kind of, I guess, the overwhelming thought is that how would I be able to navigate through Christmas? Because there is that thing of wanting to enjoy yourself because it is Christmas, and it's probably going to be spending time with people that you don't normally spend time with, and family reunions and work parties, etc. But also doing it in a way that it's not going to feel like you're sabotaging your weight loss journey. So it is finding that balance. So having said that, every year I put out a Christmas guide, and it's a survival guide with lots of tips and hints on how to navigate through that festive period. And normally I just send it out as a screenshot on to my WhatsApp Slimmers group. But this year I have decided to print it all out and have it printed on lovely card. And they will be going out in all November orders. And I just wanted to spend a little bit of time just kind of like explaining on the details of what's in here. So first of all, we've got 30 days, and they're not date specific. It is just a 30-day challenge, so you can cross off to keep yourself accountable. And on the back, we've just got a little bit about what your goal is, what you want to achieve, how you're going to do it, and who your consultant is, etc., just to make yourself accountable. So that will be going out. The other thing, which is the December, so this is a 5-week planner, so from the 1st of December all the way to the 4th of January. And sometimes we can look at our diary and we can think, oh my gosh, I've got so many things coming up, there's no way I can even think about losing weight in December. And I really wanted to take out the overwhelm and for us to realistically look at what we've got available. And the best way, and I do this all throughout the year, not just Christmas, but Christmas it is particularly important because we can get fixated on the events. Oh, I've got my works party, I've got brunch with the girls, I've got these things, so we've got 5 things coming up, and you just might feel that, oh, there's no point starting a weight loss journey or trying to stick into it. But the way that I break it down, and I find what really helps my clients, is that first of all, I look at a week at a time, and I look at each day with on average 4 meals a day. So you've got 4 meals a day over a week is 28 meals, and you might be going out for a brunch with the girls, and maybe you've got dinner with your partner, okay? But we could get so fixated about those 2 whole events. They are only 2 meals. So out of those 28 meals in the week, there's only 2 meals that you're actually only out for. So you can still make really good choices on the other 26 other opportunities. And I think we get so fixated on the things that are going to possibly be a spanner in the works that we forget to look at all the other opportunities where we can make a difference, where we can make sensible choices. And that's the thing that we need to focus on those things that you can control, rather than get fixated on the things that are going to be happening. So I encourage, when my clients will be ordering their November orders, and if you want to come on plan, you'll be getting a copy of this, is to write down exactly what event you've got in each of these boxes, so you can clearly see what you've got going on. And on the back, I have a survival guide. And this is really important because I think when we go into December, we really want to be clear about what it is that we're trying to achieve. And knowing that will help us make the right decisions according to what it is that we want to achieve. So we've got the green section, which is all about, we want to keep losing weight. We are not wanting to take our foot off the gas. We want to lose weight. And these are the kind of guidelines and tips that we want to focus on. This could be about, I want to stay the same. So your approach might be very different or slightly different to what you would want to achieve if you are wanting to actively lose weight. And then with the red section is like, I'm okay with a small gain. It's Christmas. I'm not going to drive myself crazy. And it's managing those expectations about what it is that you want to. Do you want to do green, amber or red? And then once you've completed your calendar page, I would encourage to have it ready for our next catch up so that we can clearly write in your profile what it is that you want to achieve. So obviously it can make you accountable. So I find this really good. Now you'll have it on your fridge. You can stick it on a magnet and have that. So you'll be sent now. I'm really sorry, it looks a bit scrunched. My son sat on this copy. So not only will you have the calendar and the, the survival guide in terms of, what it is that you want to achieve, but also the top tips. So the top tips for success during this festive period. So we've got all these little things about, maybe not buying things so early on in December. You try and hold off so that they're not so tempted to dip into them over the festive period. Prioritize your protein and vegetables. So all this really useful information, which is stuff that we know, but it's really good to remind ourselves of these things because it will help keep us on track when we're, walking past in the kitchen and we have these front and center. Don't just read it and stuff it in a drawer. Have it out on a cupboard so you can see, so it is a visual reminder of what it is that you want to achieve. So loads of top tips on things that you can do to help prepare yourself. And then on the back, which is a really, really useful piece of information, is to really be aware of those hidden calories. A handful of cashew nuts or, the luxury mince pies, whatever it is. No one is saying not to have. It's just being mindful of okay, well, if I have that then maybe I don't need, if I am having, if there are 4 courses or whatever, maybe I only want 3 of them and maybe I'll swap something for something else. And it is having that control and choosing to make smart choices. And when you choose to make choices that are in alignment with what you want, this doesn't mean that you're missing out. It doesn't mean that you're boring. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have as much fun. What you will find is that you are going to feel really empowered because you are choosing to make the right decisions that is in alignment with you, so that when you enter January, you are feeling really good and really empowered because all through that festive month, you have learned how to manage really well between enjoying yourself, but also reining it in when you go, do I actually need those things? Are these going to help me? My goal is that I really want to achieve X, Y, and Z. If I choose this, is that going to help me? And it is that daily reminder. And it's about thinking when you wake up the 1st of January, how are you going to want to feel? And it is the best feeling in the world knowing that you have had as much fun as anyone else. And yes, you may have only had 2 roast potatoes rather than the usual 6 roast potatoes, but that doesn't mean that you had any less fun. That doesn't mean that you enjoyed yourself any less because you choose to have a slightly different, fewer calories compared to what you would normally have had. And this is the kind of thing that is really important, because what you are doing is that you are establishing a healthier relationship with food. You are in control. You're not getting seduced by all of the trimmings and everything is around you. And even if you are choosing to have the trimmings, you're choosing smart. You're choosing carefully. You're choosing, well, if I have this, I'm not going to have this. And I'm choosing to have this because I'm, and it is that, it's, if we eat all of the things all the time, what's going to happen to us? We're going to gain the weight back and we're going to feel pretty rubbish with ourselves. So it's learning how to sitting back, taking control and saying, you know what, I don't need to eat. I had a really lovely Christmas day and it's just the family at home on Boxing Day. I don't need to eat all the things all over again. Maybe it might be wrapping some stuff up and giving it to a neighbour if you don't want it to go to waste, whatever it is. But thinking about, it's that fear of missing out and that, that wastefulness that we always go on about, and we don't want to waste food. However, there's got to be a point where, by eating it all, not to waste it is as harmful. So thinking about what it is that you want to achieve. So lots of useful tips, as to, what you can replace things. If you're choosing this, how about having this instead? So this is a really useful guide. And of course, alcohol. Alcohol is obviously one of the most things that are consumed over the Christmas and New Year period, and it is one of the most calorific, sugary things. So again, it's about choosing smart, choosing wise. Maybe you don't want alcohol, and that's absolutely fine. But if you do want alcohol, it's about thinking about what you can do to limit that damage, so that you're not kind of like waking up in January thinking, oh my gosh, I've just undone all of my hard work, because no one really wants to do that. And remember, you're only going to get the results that you want by the choices that you make. So I hope that inspires you and makes you feel a lot calmer and excited about heading into the festive period, because I know it can be really overwhelming, and I know a lot of people might think, oh, there's no point, but this can demonstrate you absolutely can lose weight if you are willing to adapt your mindset and give it an I can attitude and an I can mentality, because there's nothing to stop you from doing any of that unless it's you and the voices in your head that is going to tell you that you can't. So if you would like more information about how I can support you on the one-to-one diet, and you would like to get your hands on these Christmas survival guides and the planner, all you need to do is place your month order in November, and I will get that on its way over to you. And yeah, I hope you're well.